What's up you guys, After Reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to some more Ally McBeal. This is season 1 episode 10. So let's get into it.
I love Christmas. All the things that bug me during the year don't bug me at Christmas. People smiling, me smiling.
Christmas is stressful.
The star is the best
I like
part.
presents,
Dad said
but
as you
Christmas
reach to put
is
the star
stressful.
onto the tree, you're really reaching for your own star in life. Maybe she won't notice.
It's come to this. You're humping the tree.
Damn it, Renee, just help me down. Ditchin' tomorrow night. I'm already starting to get the ick on him.
Already?
Yeah. He's too white bread. Come with me.
On your date? You, me, and $1,000 face. No thanks.
Oh, come on, Renee. It'll help if I'm getting the ick. You can help take the pressure off of some of the date.
Bring that little biscuit along and I'll go.
John Cage.
He's cute.
You and John Cage.
Well, you never know.
Renee, he's a little weird.
You forget I like weird.
How has it come to this? We're smart women. We're fairly attractive.
I'm even hot.
So why aren't we with hot men?
Here they are.
We don't get carolers here.
Is this a setup?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
This guy on the left right here, doing the accordion, looks so bored out of his mind. This road.
Very last up, my uncle Kevin Hansen died yesterday.
I'm sorry, Richard.
No biggie. He'd been ill. It was probably a blessing. Bygones. But we're having a little difficulty with the church regarding the memorial service.
What difficulty?
Excuse me. I'd first like to give pause to absorb his passing. Can we all take a moment?
Anyway, various things marked my uncle's life, one being his distaste for short people. The minister is refusing to let that part of him be memorialized. My aunt and I feel it should be included. It was...
He didn't like short people?
At 6 years old, he was bitten by one. It resonated. What can I say?
I'm troubled. Just another moment.
What's the matter?
Richard's uncle died. He didn't like short people. John's troubled.
Billy, can you meet with the minister? Just talk to him. I tried, but it would be important to my uncle.
Oh, Miss McBeal. Will you step up here, please?
Oh, God. Now what have I done?
Sometimes you can obligate yourself by just being in the room.
I'm sorry?
I'm all out of public defenders, but I've got one last indigent defendant. The Commonwealth thanks you.
Your Honor, I'm afraid of criminals.
Yes, well, suck it up. Stephanie Grant, solicitation. I'm granting personal. Check with probation and we'll set up a conference.
It's his third offense. He's gonna be asking that he do some time.
He who?
She's a boy, Allie. Stephanie is Stephen.
I don't typically edit eulogies, believe me, I don't. But I can't just let you get up there and unload on small people.
I won't be unloading.
Oh, come on, Richard, I knew your uncle.
Reverend, Mr. Hansen's life was made up of a lot of eccentricities. We should be allowed to talk about that.
There have to be limits.
Okay, we have two different ways to go on this, and they both have negative sides, so you're gonna have to think about it.
Okay.
Okay, we could plea, and that would be your best chance at a reduced sentence, but it still would mean jail time.
Prison?
With your two previous convictions, Stephanie, we are looking at some time.
What's the other way to go?
Well,
So is this a transgender man?
we could plead not guilty and try to win on the elements, and the problem there is that you solicited an undercover cop, and with the two priors, I really don't think we could win. And if we lost once we were in trial, we'd be looking at more jail time than we would be on a plea. Can you imagine? He is the most fragile person living in the harshest of worlds. He's obviously not well.
So does he just like drag or?
Who is it?
Stephanie, it's Ally.
I don't know, because this is like
Oh, can you wait one
early
second?
90s show, I think,
Sure.
or something. So it's like, I don't know. Like, do they maybe they don't acknowledge that kind of thing.
These are beautiful.
Oh, I made them.
You made this?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you should do this.
Oh, if I could only latch onto a husband.
Well, if you go to prison, you'll have plenty of time to be a wife. Oh my God. No, I have a way with Freudian slips.
So do I. I'm wearing one.
I think there might be a way for, us to, avoid jail. It's gonna have to be an insanity defense.
Insanity?
Yeah, this is a legal strategy. I am not here suggesting that you are insane.
What's the insanity?
A fetish. Transvestite fetishism. I think that we can categorize it as a mental disorder.
It's fucked.
Like I'm sick?
You're
Yeah.
not.
I don't want to say I'm sick.
I know, but the judge is going to need something legal
I
or...
mean, the reason I left home is because everybody calls me sick. That's why I left
You're
Ohio.
not.
The goal here has to be avoiding jail. Could you at least think it over? It's all we have.
Sure. I'm open-minded.
I've been sitting on the bench long enough to appreciate anything original. But this
Hey!
to a next level.
Kevin
Almond!
Hansen's life was marked by several experiences
He's in, like,
with short people.
Charmed.
People and events who affected not just his life, but influenced who he became.
A bigot.
In part,
Buffy.
a bigot, yes.
So many things.
It's who he was.
That doesn't mean my client has to give him the pulpit to celebrate it.
Richard Fish has no intention of endorsing his uncle's bigotry. He just wants to get up and offer a perspective as to how this...
Look, I'm all for free speech. He can say whatever he wants. But why should I force the church to be a forum for it?
Because this church was his church.
But we tend towards restricting against bigotry these days.
But there's no special protection for short people, and even if there was, so what? Kevin Hansen was a good man in some ways. A not so good man in others.
See, Almond's
Why
quite
can't his nephew
short,
stand up at his funeral
so
and
he
say
could
that?
get offended.
What if he hated blacks?
What if? This whole political correctness thing is out of control. First, we say you can't act with prejudice. That's fine. And then we say you can't have prejudices. Now we're saying you can't even talk about somebody else's prejudices. This isn't civil rights, Your Honor. It's censorship.
Ally,
What have you been?
Is there no respect for privacy in this place?
Elaine told me you'd been in here for 20 minutes. I suspected it was more about solitude than use of the facility.
You don't know.
Everything
Some
okay?
people take a while to poop.
Well, I don't know.
Get him to a psychologist. If you walk into court with any diagnosis of mental dysfunction at all, 18 years old, you've got a chance.
A brief.
10 pages. Black
I'm not
letter.
filing a legal brief, Richard. We went to court. I think we've carried this far enough.
Last time I checked, I was senior partner here.
I
That
don't
means
care.
that you're
I'm not
supposed to do
being
it.
stupid about it. We made the argument. The judge will
The judge will rule in our
on it.
favor, maybe, if we support our position.
What the hell is this about? I thought you loved your uncle. I think this casts him in a favorable light. I think you want to trash
Don't
this.
tell me what I
would
can
think
and
that you
can't.
wanna keep
You
this-
shut up! This is what he wanted, Billy. This is what he wanted. And don't ever accuse him of not wanting it.
Weird thing to what?
We need to go see a psychologist tonight. We have to get a medical opinion before we go to court.
Why are you doing this? The last two lawyers spent 10 minutes combined on me.
Honest? I want that wedding dress.
The good news is you've got something to take into court. The bad news is that he's a pretty messed up kid.
Tell me.
I can support the fetishism. I think he may also suffer from gender dysphoria, although I'd need to spend a lot more time with him before I could state anything conclusive.
What's gender dysphoria?
Simplest terms, psychologically and emotionally, he's more like a woman. Or he thinks he is. Although he doesn't say that. The one sure diagnosis I can give you is that he's hugely confused.
This is quite progressive.
Are you going to
Just
court
saying.
with me?
Of course.
You know how most people wear clean underwear in case they get run over by a car? With me, all I cared about was my face. I used to pray, Lord, if I get hit by a bus, please don't let it be without makeup. I gotta go to my grave pretty. I've changed my mind.
You're not changing your mind.
You can't tell me what to do.
As your lawyer, I can tell you...
I'm not gonna walk in there saying I'm a freak.
The objective here is for you to walk out.
I'm not sick. This doesn't make me sick. This
No one
doesn't
is
make
saying
me
that
a
you...
freak.
Well, that she's not saying that you are. You're not.
You need to let people help you. Start with me. Trust me, Stephanie, and I will keep you out of jail. But you have to trust me.
Do you think this is really in his best interest, Ally? If he walks, he goes back to the streets. Jail may be safer.
We all know what happens to kids like this in jail.
And we all know what happens if he gets free. He just goes back to what he's been doing.
This kid doesn't want to turn tricks. He needs a job. He needs a fresh start. And maybe...
Who's going to hire him?
Me.
You.
Yeah, me.
Ally.
My firm. I know, but this kid needs a break.
One of my fears, this is not somebody who's joined another world, Your Honor. Nobody's welcomed him in. Right now, I think he's just looking to survive. He's not really part of any society at the moment. He needs counseling, and if we don't...
Let's just give him a chance and see. Jail cannot be the answer.
I'll continue this for a year, no finding. Conditioned on him being employed starting today.
Thank you. Thank you.
As a person who was never offered a basketball scholarship, I'm a little salty about assisting anybody who wants to take a smack at the vertically challenged. That's what we call short people sometime. Vertically challenged.
Never heard of that.
That's politically correct, isn't it? Part of living in a free country, people should be free. And though laws should exist to prevent discrimination, and though they should exist to prevent people from acting on prejudice, nevertheless, people are entitled to their bigotries. It has to be permissible at that person's funeral for somebody to get up and say, hey, he believed these stupid things. This totem pole political correctness thing, that's stupid. Go ahead, Mr. Fish. Get up at that podium and take your uncle's shot. I won't shrink from it.
Who's the guy?
What guy?
With Ally. Who is he?
That's her client. You think she's a guy?
With those legs?
Guy.
How can you...
Know every neck in the room at a glance.
You think that beautiful girl...
She's coming.
Hey, guys. This is Stephanie Grant. This is Georgia, Richard, and Billy.
Interesting that her Grant being the last name here.
I hired him.
Excuse me?
I know I had no right, but employment saved him from jail and...
Ally, we're not exactly hiring all this time defending ourselves. It's been a lousy fourth quarter.
You can deduct his wages from my salary.
I won't do that.
But he can still work for us. Oh, and, he wants to be a she as far as the rest of the personnel goes.
Fine.
Do you, find me short?
What? No.
Because I am troubled by Richard's motion.
That went to people who are like 5'2" or 5'3". I mean, you're...
Hey! I'm
not
offended.
tall, but I wouldn't consider you short.
Many women, well, most women wouldn't consider dating a man, you know, who isn't taller than...
But a lot of women would.
Would you? I mean, consider me.
I probably wouldn't consider dating you because you're my boss and we work together, but otherwise, yeah, I would consider it.
Would is a subjunctive word contrary to fact.
Sorry?
Nothing. If you could excuse me.
Of course.
If there's anything you need, though of course you already have what most women want.
I beg your pardon.
That was a pun. I'm sort of a wordsmith / office administrator.
Oh, I just got it.
Anyway.
And for his funeral, it was important to him that people just tip their hat and remember him. He didn't want tears. But 2 days before his death, he squeezed my hand and said, "Don't let them cry. Don't paint me a saint, and don't let them cry." Like some people for silly reasons, disliked others for sillier reasons. He said, life's just a stupid game. It doesn't matter what you do or what you have. If you're loved in the end, then you win. He wins.
Didn't even talk about short people.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason now. Short people got no reason to live. They got little hands and little eyes, little noses and tiny little teeth. They wear platform shoes. Don't want no short people. I don't want no short people around here. Gotta pick 'em up just to say hello. They got little cars that go beep, beep, beep. They got little voices going peep, peep, peep.
Oh, facial expressions on this lady. Oh, John.
Don't let him cry. Don't let yourself cry. That's what it's about, isn't it?
I'm not sure I follow.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's so beautiful and it even fits.
You might want to take it in at the waist just a little.
No, I can eat a donut. It'll be perfect. How can I ever thank you?
How can you thank me? You saved my life.
Ladies?
Stephanie made this dress for me.
Oh, that's quite fetching. Well, have a good afternoon. And welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And I'm still not sure about the work thing, but I really would enjoy going out to dinner with you. I think we have a lot in common. Well, shall we think about it?
We shall.
Mistletoe. Well,
Yes, indeed.
You kissed it?
it was a little peck on the cheek. There was mistletoe. It was legitimate.
Okay.
What's going on?
John went crazy when he found out that Jane was a guy. Looks like the cause of death was a trauma to the head. He called the parents. They live in Ohio. They said they won't even come to make an ID.
Ally.
Why did he have to go back out there? Yeah, he had a job, but why?
Can't answer that.
His parents didn't even come.
He wasn't alone in the end. Ally, he had you. He didn't die alone.
Is it possible to love somebody in only 2 days?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. It doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought some corn for popping. But if you'll really hold me tight.
Alrighty, well that was Ally McBeal, Season 1, Episode 10. That was kind of a heavy ending. I think that despite the fact that a lot of these episodes so far have had like some not good messages, very outdated thinking, this episode was very much, I don't know, like I feel like the fact that they tackled a storyline like this, I gotta commend that. It's really awful what happened to him. And it's really awful that this happens to people out there. Man, I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.